Audio Jungle.
So can I please welcome to the stage Amy Doolin, UCC student IWish alumni, Emma Brennan, CIT student IWish alumni, Julia Sheehan, UCC student IWish alumni, Caoimhe O'Brien, UCC student IWish alumni, Isabel Cahill, student alumni, and our moderator for this session is Laura Andrews, who is UCC YSTEM.
I will start in the middle here with Julia.
So Julia is on the YSTEM Society in UCC.
She's vice chairperson, and 4 years ago, she was also sitting in this exact same seat in a very different situation.
So Julia, could you tell the girls about that?
So when I was 16, I did the Irish Campus Week in CIT, and while we were there, they asked us to write an essay about why we thought there was less women in STEM, so I wrote the essay. And then I was selected to speak on a panel about my experience at the Irish Campus Week. And that was kind of what sparked my interest in women in STEM then. So then going on from there, when I came into UCC, I was really interested, so I joined the YSTEM Society, and now I'm here.
4 years later, back in the same seat.
Yes.
So,
If you look to my right, your left, we have two amazing girls, Amy and Emma. So last year,
they had the most amazing opportunity to go over to Park Place Technologies.
because of the opportunity that IWish gave them.
So I think I'll begin with Amy.
So Amy, can you tell the girls what you actually got up to last summer?
Yeah. So because of IWish, as Lauren said, Park Place Technologies partnered with them and they offered a 10-day externship to America. So that meant we got to spend 3 days in Boston and 3 days in Cleveland in Ohio in their headquarters. So I think at the moment for myself, my big fear is that I don't want to be doing the same job forever. And the experience that Park Place gave us totally banished that fear for me. They gave us an insight into every part of the business. I mean, we weren't just left with IT for 10 days. We saw everything. And I think that was crucial to both of us, I think, at this stage in our education and as we begin to go on placement. So to get that experience such early on, thanks to IWish and of course Park Place as well, is incredible.
Emma, and the same to you.
What's the biggest thing that you took away
from last year?
Well, I'm on work placement right now, and having that opportunity to see what an office actually looks like, and not just be stuck in a lecture room, and to have that kind of wisdom from all the people working there that went through what we're going through, finished college, and even did courses that aren't remotely related to STEM, and they somehow have ended up in roles completely different, like people doing political science, and now they're doing marketing and stuff like that. So it's amazing to see their paths and see what we can achieve.
Yeah, no, I'd have to absolutely emphasise what you've just said there. STEM is literally a key that opens the door of
100,000 opportunities. For me, when I was in school, I studied chemistry, physics, and applied maths.
And now I'm majoring in microbiology.
So the thing is, once you go into a degree that has these opportunities, there's so many doors for you. So, Caoimhe, can you tell us a little bit more about that, about the subjects that you did in school and how they impacted
your career going forward into engineering? Or what was it that inspired you to go into engineering?
Yeah, so I suppose I was very lucky. I had a lot of female kind of role models growing up that were in science already. So I've a rake of aunts, and they're all in science and technology and working for big companies. So when I was going to choose my Leaving Cert subjects, I suppose I was able to go and talk to them and say, well, what's a good idea to do? And they gave me, Dad as well, gave me some solid advice. I wanted to do chemistry, biology and physics, because I was like, science is my thing, that's probably what I'm going to do. And Dad was like, do you know what, sit down and think about that now. You want to have a rounded education and going into college. So he was like, pick 2 science subjects, give yourself a chance going into college to have a background in science, but do a business subject as well, because you need that down the line. So I studied chemistry, biology and accounting. I went into first year engineering and struggled massively with physics, but just got on with it, and I don't regret my choice to do accounting. It was a really good decision, and none of it was about the points or anything. It was just about getting a rounded education so that you can, I suppose, go on and you're stuck in a few years' time. So yeah, that was kind of.
No, absolutely. Picking up on what was just said there, Don't focus on the points.
Focus on what you want to do. Because if you look at any of the trends, they're up and down every single year. But be focused on doing something that
You actually want to do. Because if you're doing something that you're interested in,
it will just make it that bit easier and you'll love what you're doing. Like all of the girls, well, except
Isabel, of course, they're all doing courses that they absolutely love because they have an interest in it.
like for me, I only learned that I had such a strong passion for my course when I got into college. So that's the thing, you have to have an interest. And then, I know I've singled out Isabel there, but what you might not know is this time last year, she was sitting in the seat what you were sitting in. So Isabel is currently in 5th year.
So Isabel, can you tell the girls
How much of an impact I Wish had on you last year and how it helped you pick your subjects for going forward this year?
Well, it definitely made like a huge impact in how I chose my subjects, because I do agree that you do have to choose something that you do like doing and what you love to do, but you have to look into all the subjects, and I Wish really opened my eyes to all the science subjects, especially chemistry and physics for me. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up doing chemistry and physics, and I probably wouldn't have gone down that path if I wasn't shown what's actually available in those subjects.
No, absolutely. And like what she was just saying there, when you can see what opportunities are there for you, you can see why you'd pick certain subjects.
So in a minute, when you're going around to the different stands inside in the exhibition hall, talk to everyone and see what certain subjects would lead you into certain roles and like what would be interesting for you. And also going back to you again, Isabel,
You had the most amazing opportunity last.
summer. So can you tell the girls what you were doing last summer?
Yeah, so essentially what happened was when I was in I Wish, there was a final competition at the end, and we were put into little groups, and there was an engineering problem that we had to try to fix. So, you know, we made the posters, we did all that, and then we had to present them, and my team ended up winning, so then we had to go to Dublin to an event where then we just explained it all to primary school students to try to open their eyes to what's available to them in the future.
That's absolutely incredible. And Julia, so like we just said earlier, 4 years ago you were sitting up here. How has your life changed in the past 4 years from I Wish?
Well, obviously I graduated school. So after I Wish, I always knew I was going to go into STEM. That was kind of always what I was good at, but I'd never really thought about women in STEM as a concept because I went to an all-girls school. So for me, it wasn't really like prevalent in my day-to-day life. So I decided to do maths in college after I kind of realized like, okay, that's kind of what I'm interested in. So I do maths now. So yeah, that's probably the biggest change, going from school to college. But then I think as well, joining the YSTEM Society for me has completely shaped my college experience, and I wouldn't have joined the YSTEM Society if it wasn't for I Wish, but I did. So I was first year rep last year, and then being vice chair this year. Like, the things we get to do are incredible. We host loads of events with really cool companies, and none of that would have happened if I wasn't in I Wish. But yeah, being vice chair, I don't think it's something I saw myself doing probably 4 years ago when I was here, but it's been the most incredible experience, and it's given me so much. So that's probably how my life has changed.
And girls, Amy, I know now you're later on in your college career, you've only 1 year left in UCC.
So can you tell me from your perspective when you're nearly on the way out, and you were one of the first girls to ever go through I Wish 5 years ago, and it's amazing to see how I Wish has grown in the past 5 years.
So I think for me, actually, my biggest takeaway from going to I Wish is I actually went when I was in 5th year, so I had already picked my subjects, and I wanted to do pharmacy, so I picked chemistry and biology. And by the time I came to I Wish, I discovered I hated chemistry, so I think I actually was able to come at a really good time. And I know it probably sounds silly now, but at that stage, I didn't realise how many careers there were in technology and how these big technology companies were crying out for more women to enter into the workforce. So that was the big take-home message for me when I went to I Wish, and it's definitely shaped what I'm doing now. So I'm studying business information systems, and because of I Wish, I'm studying a kind of a technology-based degree, and I've gotten so many opportunities because of that as well. And it's such a good time. I think we'd all agree for women to be entering into these STEM fields. There are so many opportunities with these really huge companies crying out for more women. Yeah.
And yourself, Emma, what would be your biggest takeaway note that you have from you when you were at I Wish?
Well, after attending I Wish, I think it kind of cemented that I love technology. I mean, I was the go-to tech person in my family. You know, if anything broke, I'd fix it. Even just the printer, I could turn it on, so that was a miracle to my family. So I kind of knew that was the path I wanted to go down. And then I think I was really fortunate to have such a great guidance counsellor as well, because I really started to doubt myself. I went to an all-girls secondary school as well, and when I went to a course in UCC, Monster Programming Training, and it was all guys, and I was like, I can't go there, lads. So I was so glad that my guidance counsellor really pushed me, because I was like, no, I'll just do arts, you know, it's what girls do. And she was like, no, you like it, go do it. And I wouldn't be if it wasn't for her.
Absolutely. If you like it, go do it. Who cares what anyone says? If it's something that you're interested in and you can see yourself being absolutely incredible,
There's no reason why you can't go forward. If you think you're good enough, know you're good enough. So I can see here there's a lot of questions coming in. So I know this is in school, so feel free to take out all your phones, provided you're on the app,
and send in as many questions, because
harvest this now while they're here, because they're a youth of knowledge up here. So one thing that is just coming in and it caught my eye as soon as straight away.
So, I know I want to pursue a career in STEM, but I don't know what course I'd like to do in college. What advice would you give me? I think
We'll start with Quiva, because I know you've spoke about this before.
Yeah, I suppose I was actually outside yesterday. You'll be heading out there in a minute. And I was annoying girls coming up to the stand asking them, oh, what you want to do? And sure, like, none of you have a clue, really. Well, majority you probably don't. But you're all kind of nodding there.
I can see a few girls
who are on my camogie team being like, yes, I say this all the time to learn in training.
Yeah. So I was the same, like I sat down there and we didn't have our phones at all. We weren't allowed phones back then. Not that it was long ago or anything, but it was just like so much has changed, I suppose, in the last couple of years of phones and stuff. But we had a piece of paper and we had loads of boxes. It was, what career do you think you'll choose or whatever? And we were like, just tick a box, like get it out of the way. But I remember just ticking the engineering box, and I didn't really think about it. Just ticked the engineering box, and then went into 5th year, and I suppose I did somewhat well in school. Every now and again I'd do okay. And people started pushing me towards medicine. They said, oh, medicine's a great career, you like science, you do alright in school, go away, do the HPAT. That was the biggest waste of money ever, because I had no interest in doing medicine. It was mad. I wouldn't fit in. So when I actually sat down, the week before picking my CAO, doing out my CAO, I sat down with my dad in Achill Island, and we'd go to the pub because there was no Wi-Fi anywhere else. So we're sitting down in the pub doing the CAO, and I just thought back. I was like, come here, what did I tick back then when I wasn't really thinking? And I said engineering. So I think one of the biggest things I'd say when you go to pick your course in college, kind of go with your gut feeling, because you have an idea of what you want to do, even if you haven't really thought about it, because you're kind of looking around you and seeing what other people are doing, and you're drawn to that. So that's what I say to do, and then look at the modules and go through all that sort of stuff, but go with your gut. Like, you talk yourself out of doing something otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. Take your instinct, like take that leap of faith, and you know that, look, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. There's
so many different opportunities for you. And I know I can only speak for UCC and CIT myself, but you get so much support when you come into college. Like, say we both have YSEM societies to support girls, and we can have this link where we can set you up with someone in like 4th year, 3rd year, so you can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, definitely.
Yeah, just to add to that as well, like, the last year's girls who set up the YSEM Society, one of them was in the same course as me, and she was so good in like giving me work, helping me with work and stuff like that. So like when you go into college, make your connections and it'll just help you even if you're struggling with small things. Like
absolutely, like there's so much support, because look around, how many girls are sitting in here? If you all look out for each other and just support each other, we'll absolutely rock
the next few years. And that's why things like I Wish and the I Wish alumni have such a network where you can grow and support each other. Because there's no point saying, oh sure, I'm in competition with her. Because all of us can agree that there's no competition. It's all about supporting each other and building each other up. Another question that's just come in there is, what would you say to someone interested in studying science but feels like they will not be able to get a good job in it? Wait until you go into the hall, and oh my goodness, that'll be wiped from your mind anyway. So I think, Julia, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, I think this is actually really important. So I did a business internship this summer just gone, right? So I don't do a business degree, like I'm a mathematician, and actually over half of the interns that they hired were doing science degrees. So they were mainly doing chemistry, physics, and engineering. And I just think that's really important because a science degree gives you thinking skills. Employers today, particularly actually businesses, they don't really care about your background because you actually don't use most of what you use in college in the real world. But what they care about is like, how do you think? How do you approach things? And science, people who do science approach things so well. Your whole degree is about, sorry. There we go. Your whole degree is about thinking and solving problems. So you're so useful to a company. So I was in Vodafone. Like, you're so useful to them from a marketing perspective because your whole degree has been about problem solving. So science, like, you may not end up working in science, but you are 100% going to get a job if you do a science degree.
Absolutely. Like, one of my
Friends who was the year above me who did biological and chemical sciences, she did
major in physiology, and now she's an accountant. So, like, that's the thing, like, it gives you these skills that you can go into things and develop sort of transitional skills that you can go between things. So this question now that's come in, I'm going to direct it to Amy, but if anyone else wants to jump in, feel free to. So I'm interested in coding and computer science as a career. Would you recommend practicing now before I get into college?
that C word like gives us all the sweats.
Yeah, I'm in third year and it still makes me nervous thinking about it. But no, to be honest, like I didn't have any coding experience when I went into college. I had done Coder Dojo for a few years when I was younger, but I mean, to be honest, it did teach you the basics, but it didn't prepare me for what was about to hit me when I went into first year. But everyone is in the same boat, to be honest. I mean, if you wanted to give yourself that little bit of an advantage and make life easier, sure, go for it. But you'd want to be pretty sure what modules you're going to be studying and that you're not totally wasting your time in studying a completely different language either. Emma, you might have something to add to that.
Yeah, definitely. Like when I first went to college, there were some people there and they thought they were God's gift because they knew all the programming languages, and I was absolutely terrified. And then they didn't come to college at all and they thought, I'll just pass because I know things. And I actually turned up because I knew the bare minimum, and I learned so much during the course that like they missed out on because they thought that they learned everything before they even started. So I wouldn't say it's necessary. Like, it's nice to have some kind of safety blanket and to be familiar with it and to know that you actually like it, but it wouldn't be mandatory at all.
Absolutely, like I'd definitely hone in on that like you don't need to have, you don't need to know how to code in
C#, Python, Java, and like that as well, like because you learn it, everyone's in the same boat. Like for instance, you spend 2 to 3 years studying the Leaving Cert course for science. When I went into my first year in biological chemical sciences, in the first 3.5 weeks, we did the full syllabus of chemistry, the full syllabus of physics, and the full syllabus of applied maths, biology, chemistry, everything, literally, because they take everyone from the start and teach you so everyone's on the same wavelength. So don't think that,
oh, I'm not doing this now, so I won't be good enough. They'll train you, they'll teach you.
As long as you have that interest, you will fly it. So, another one. Do you think a male is more likely to get a job over a female
With the same qualification and or degree. I can see Quiva
itching to get the microphone?
I'll take this one. Lads, this is gas. Actually, it's probably not funny. We had our placement interviews the first week back from college, and every girl in the course got their placement over the boys because companies want girls at the moment. So it's kind of positive sexism. So in the next 5 years, you'll all get jobs over the boys, which is it's great if your grades are right.
Yeah, like keep in mind,
you still have to do well. You still have to pass your exams.
That's it, yeah. I know it's actually the whole industry is changing. It'll all settle down in about 10 years' time, but like you're in there now, and you're very lucky because companies are aiming for this 50-50 thing at the moment, and if you go in and talk to them about it, they'll rave on about it for ages. Like, I'd say you can all say the same. Like, yeah.
And I think like I'd say nearly everyone here has benefited from being a woman in STEM. I mean, the Park Place externship, obviously because it's linked in with I Wish, is only open to women. I can only speak for UCC now, but there's a Johnson & Johnson scholarship only open to women. They sponsor, is it 5 or 8 girls?
Depending on the standard every year.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, it's such a great time to be studying STEM as a woman.
To be alive.
It's a great time to be alive, guys. But really though, just before we finish up, I'm going to come back to Isabel. So,
This time last year, you were sitting out there, and now you're sitting up on the stage. Where can you see yourself in 4 years' time? Like Julia is sitting up here 4 years later. The girls are here 3 years later. Where can you see yourself in 4 years' time?
Or do you even know?
Well, I'd be very like the girls right there and not know exactly what I want to do yet. But I do know that I want to go to college, and I know it's not for everyone, but it is for me, I think. So I want to go to college, and I'm hoping to do a general engineering degree in UCC so that I can open my eyes to more stuff and see what actually suits me better.
Brilliant. So girls, if you have any questions whatsoever, ask them. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to
Push the boundaries. If there's anything that we haven't covered on that's still burning inside of you, because I know there's still loads of questions coming in, we'll be around inside, in the stalls inside, just come up and have a chat with us. I swear we don't bite.
So, on behalf of all the girls up here, it was an honour to speak to you, and thank you so much for being so attentive.